Since 1960, in your head, they're still fighting with their tens and levels and levels and levels in your head, they are not yet in your head, zombie, it's in your head, trouble if I knew. I'm trying hard to make you see. All that you are is all that I need. I know that it's a secret and that I gotta keep it, but I want the lights on. Yeah, I want the lights on. And I don't wanna run away anymore. Leave the lights on, leave the lights on. I know that it's a secret and that I gotta keep it, but I want the lights on. Yeah, I want the lights on. And I don't wanna run away anymore. Leave the lights on, leave the lights on, leave the lights on.
Good morning, guys. How's it going? Let me know if my mic is too soft, too loud. You guys know the drill. Let's see. Let's get on over the chat right over here. What's the cost to your classes, mangoes? Oh, you mean the course? It's the link should be down there. I honestly don't know right now off the top of my head because Krisha handles the pricing. So yeah, you should just go down to the link. I think the link should be in the description. She did tell me, or she did mention that she'd be changing the prices. Likely to the upside, unfortunately. So you guys should always be wary of Krisha watching the new modules, because each time she does, she comes back to me and she's like, that's it, Sean. We got to increase price. Oh my god, you scared the living shit out of me. Were you here the entire time?
No, I wasn't. I literally just signed up.
Okay, wait, I'm not sure they can hear you actually. Let me just wait, I'm not sure. Can you guys hear Krisha? I'm so bad at this. Okay, apparently your mic is down, so I'm gonna go ahead and increase your mic. Alright, so now I increased her thingy, but I'm not sure if the music's too loud, or is it all perfect?
It's all perfect. I don't know. I'm just saying things.
Stephen Watson says no, but it might be delayed. I'm just gonna go through the chat while they catch up with our mic. Lena says Sean Dexter, show me the money. Oh man, love it. Lena, so good to have you here on the live streams. Also, guess what? Justin's in here too. Yeah, and he was just in time. Ladolf is in here as well. My favorite seed member now, making it to consecutive live streams. BB is like, wake up, Link. Hey man, Link will blinky winky when it's time to dinky winky. I don't know.
Don't kill me.
Blinky linky dinky winky. Seed members should get your live stream playlist. Yeah, PM me. I'll send you my playlist. I'll send you the songs you like at the very least. On Discord, by the way. We are on Discord now. So let me... okay, people are saying it sounds good. Good morning to you, Janice. How are you doing? How are the trades going? I hope you're keeping it mango. I hope you're keeping it stress-free. And Vishal is in here. Good morning to you, buddy. Good morning to you. So... by the way, guys, Krisha and I, is everyone in here? Let's see, there's 46 people in here. So yeah, just a quick note to all of you. Krisha and I will be gone for the rest of the year, starting next week. So I believe in around 1 week, yeah, less than a week actually. So next Friday. So this will be the last live stream for the year, essentially. We'll cover this. I don't want to say that. I'll try to do one more tomorrow. Alina's like, are you talking?
Oh.
I'm not sure. Can you guys hear me? I'm so confused. Krisha, can you double check on your end? On your computer?
I can hear you. I can hear you on the
Okay, so...
on the YouTube streams.
Yeah, could you guys let Alina know that the audio is fine? Okay, perfect.
Oh.
Yes, so yeah, going back to what we were saying, Krisha and I will be gone on Christmas vacation, like we always do, like we did last year as well.
Yes!
Krisha's really happy with that. So yeah, just a heads up, and the reason I'm mentioning that is because this is essentially all I'm going to be trading. This is it. You guys are seeing this right here. I actually drew this a couple of days ago. I shared this on the Mango Grove as well to all of you, and when I did share this, the charts were a little bit more green, right? The candle was a little bit more filled up. We're sitting at around 19,500-ish, I believe. So yeah, I'm fully expecting, or I don't want to say expect, I don't know what's going to happen, but I wouldn't be surprised if we actually, well, meet these targets over here. Green means Christmas for us all over again. And if we break past this big orange zone over here, that's when I'll be interested in trading Bitcoin. So I'm not interested in trading close to this zone over here towards the upside at all. Stephen Watson says he doesn't see the chart.
That's odd. I see it. As in, like, I can...
So there are some people who can't hear. There's other people who can't see. What about the rest of you? Can you smell me?
I can smell you, Sean. You're smelling fine, nice and fresh.
I can say almost anything, and Krisha will laugh. Right? That's how I know she loves me. You know, I try these like these really lame jokes to test her, and if she laughs, I'm like, ah, cool. She still loves me. It's all it's all going good. Nothing to worry about. Someone's in the wrong tab.
Yeah. Okay, that could be it.
Oh man, I'm this is one of my biggest fears with live streams. Me switching to a tab that has content I don't want to show, and you guys know what I'm talking about.
Oh god.
Oh, because she's like, oh god, not I'm talking about my musings, you know, my writings, where I share my thoughts. I'm not talking about what are you thinking about, Krisha?
I'm not thinking of anything right now. I'm too tired to think.
Krisha's been working her butt off for you guys. She has a special treat for you guys.
Yes. I'm very, very excited for this. So hopefully while we're away, you guys will have a bit of, mango goodness coming your way. And don't, like, Sean, I know Sean just said for the rest of the year. When you say rest of the year, it sounds so long. You know, but guys, the year is almost done. It's like a couple of weeks off, right?
Yeah, it's 2 weeks. Yeah, and it's we will be on Discord and on the chat and stuff. It's just that there won't be any daily, likely won't. There'll be like sporadic videos probably. It's just like last year, guys. Just like last year. And the trades I'll be taking will be on the weekly, the monthly, and on the 4-day time frame. If there are any trades that I do take on the 4-day or the weekly, etc., I will let you guys know. So.
Cool beans. Stephen Watson says, when I minimize, I see the chart. Strange. That's odd. That is odd.
That is odd.
That is strange. Josh Hinden, you heard about Jeff Tobin? CNN senior legal guy. Oh yeah, we did.
That's the guy I was telling you about.
That was hilarious.
That was
hilarious. Yeah. That was.
How do you?
That was inappropriately hilarious.
It's career-ending stuff right there. So do you guys have any questions? Because I'm pretty much looking at only this. We could go ahead and take a quick look at the 4-day, but not much changes, right? Nothing changes. But you guys can see how my lines over here line up really well on the 4-day as well. This was a big trade opportunity right over here when we cracked 13,600-ish. What was it? 14,000, yeah. But we were talking about this for the longest time, right? Throughout this period, while we were shooting all the way up towards this wick over here, we talked about a 4-day candle close around this region is likely going to take us to, well, 20,000. And that's, in hindsight, now you guys are seeing how it all panned out, right? By the time I was talking about it for like freaking weeks leading into that zone. And then we didn't talk about it at all again because, well, there's no reason to, right? But now I want to show you guys how easy these trades can be if you're just willing to be patient. Now, Kusha, what are your thoughts on... Let's start with the weekly. Kusha, what are your thoughts?
I mean, we're up against resistance, right? I've been basically harping on about the same thing. 20k psychological resistance is the level that I'm looking at. It is the level, and for as long as we live under that, there's a good chance that we could potentially see another sort of pullback. That's what I'll be looking for at the very least, than just Bitcoin oscillating within its range. So now the real question I'm thinking about is, what is Bitcoin's range? The one that I have currently on my chart is 20k to the 17.1k-ish region, going all the way down to 14k.
Okay, yeah, that's essentially what I'm looking at too. So there you go. We're looking at the same thing for sure.
And also, like the weekly, if you just put on the Ichimoku Cloud, I don't know. I think I brought this up to your attention, Sean. The Ichimoku Cloud has that beautiful Kumo twist coming in. Like we're close, we're there. And at this point, maybe, I mean, it's too loose, right? The TA behind it is too loose. It's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy at this point. But I don't know. I like looking at these things. More often than not, I find that they do tend to pan out. But I think your first sort of hints of a deeper pullback is going to really come to you as soon as we actually start losing some major horizontals.
Well, let's go ahead and take a look at let's zoom in a little bit actually. The first thing I want to draw to your attention, guys, is the last 2 weeks, right? I want you guys to look at the weekly candle closes, the weekly opens consecutively. On the week of 23rd November, we closed in at 18,200 212, that's going to be critical now, because the current week's low is also sitting at around that number, sitting in at around 18,109. So this is the way I see it. The current structure of this weekly candle has left room for skepticism for the bulls at the very least, and for bears probably frothing in their mouths for a big move towards the downside. Now at the same time, there are people who are probably afraid to be taking shots, right? If you do look across the board, everyone's like, I can't wait for Bitcoin to come down, I can't wait for Bitcoin to come down. So you're not going to have your regular, average Joe bears who are looking to be bearish. Those guys have actually now switched bullish, and it's actually around this time. Now this is not how I trade, by the way. Okay, I don't trade against the trend ever. You guys know that about me. But usually it is around this time where you do see one of two things happen. Either a massive move that just plows through all resistances towards the upside, and we don't see that pullback at all, and the pullback comes in at a much higher number. We saw that happen when Bitcoin plowed through 4K, Krisha. We plowed right through 4K, into 5K, into 6K, and what happened at 6K? We went right past that too, went to 8,000, and then 6K ended up being the next support that we had to buy at, right?
Yeah.
And we gladly bought that, again, because we are trend traders. We don't discriminate based on price, but we also had a deeper position from 3K and 5K, again, because we just play the trend. But on the flip side, people trying to just be smarter than the market, outsmart the market every single time, they end up missing on both sides, the upside and the downside. And over here, what may end up happening is very similar to how we blew past 6K and went all the way to 8K and then came back down to 6K. We may actually blow past 20K, go all the way up to maybe 26K, 30K, and then give us that retest at around 20K, right? And then 20K ends up being the number people end up buying at anyways, or they miss that too because they're feeling so stupid about missing the entire run. And again, you can't let your emotions like that blind you. On the other end of the spectrum, what may end up happening, and this is where it may get a little bit scary for people, and I want to warn all of you at the Mango community to this outcome, because this is the outcome that could hurt people. A dip does happen. You do get the pullback. Everybody's happy. Oh my god, here's 17K. Oh my god, here's 16K. Oh my god, your CME gap is filled. I'm going to be a smart ass. I'm going to buy it. I'm going to 20x leverage. Because why? Because BitMEX offers me 100x leverage. So if BitMEX is offering me 100x leverage, 20x leverage is relatively a low leverage, right? So let's do it. 20x leverage. Here comes the moon. You leverage that, you 20x leverage that, Bitcoin moves down only 5% more because the powers to be in this space aren't stupid. They know exactly what you're doing. Why? Because they were once you, and they survived being you while you may not survive being you, and they pushed the price down 5% more, liquidating you, forcing you to sell at 15,000, pushing the price down even more, liquidating the 14K buyers as well, going, and it is, you guys know, right, the landslide. So yeah, so be very, very careful. What I'm trying to say is that we may plow through the supports underneath as well and go down deeper than you guys think. So now I want you guys to just all sit back with me, clear out your charts, okay? Pretend that this is not, pretend you don't have numbers on the right hand side over here. Pretend we're not sitting at $22,000. Pretend we're sitting at freaking $22, all right? Don't let any of the numbers bother you. Don't let any of the price history of Bitcoin bother you. Look at only the chart. If you were looking at this structure over here as though it was a 1 hour time frame, as though it was a 4 hour time frame, as though it was a freaking 15-minute time frame, like somebody in the comments just asked me to look at a couple of minutes ago, which I'm not going to look at, by the way, what would the obvious level be over here? Right? You guys wouldn't be saying 16K or 17K or 15K. The obvious level is right at this neckline, right over here. Okay? None of you would doubt that or would hesitate to say that unless you went through the emotions of watching Bitcoin go through each one of these levels, 13K, 13K, 14K, 15K, 16K, and live through the emotion of it, waiting for the pullback to come, right? The pullback never came. So now you're benchmarked in your minds to a higher number. Yeah. That being said, the most obvious level that will be staring in your face is this level right over here, around 12K to 13K, perhaps even 14K, right? That's all fine. That's why I have this entire blocked out.
That makes sense. I think that's God, my throat is sore today. Okay, now I can't hear him. Are you talking, Sean?
No, I'm not.
Okay, cool.
I was just waiting for you to clear your throat.
Okay.
And reading comments, and yeah, I went on a big spiel there, so I had to take a sip of water myself. There's 76 people, you're right, Vishal. 68, Vishal says. 76 now, and there's only 22 likes. That's depressing. I think I'm just gonna end the stream right here. Clearly you guys don't like the video, so why the hell am I doing this? Alright guys, we're gonna be calling it. My name is Sean Dexter.
So the likes help us gauge whether or not you guys actually like the videos. That way we know how often to do this. So you can let us know that you like it by actually going ahead and liking it.
Yeah, because somebody had suggested that hey Sean, if you don't want to be doing the live streams for YouTube, you should consider doing them only for seed, for the seed members. And I'd consider doing that as well, but then I felt bad, because all the stuff we talk about could help everyone. And this is one of the few times I do get to spend the time with all of you to actually teach, because in the seed content we get hours and hours and hours and hours to teach, right? Each module is like 4 to 5 hours long, because I get to spend the time I want. On YouTube I don't get to spend, on the daily videos I don't get to spend the time I want teaching, because many people are interested in the price analysis, right? But there's so much more that we can talk about.
It's the teaching that's essentially gonna really dictate, I feel, how people play the next cycle coming in. It's these little golden nuggets. Kind of gives you a bit more insight on price action. And especially since, Sean, you've been trading, Bitcoin for years now. And like I've been mentioning in many of my videos, that a lot of these charts, they all have like these various signatures. And what you can do now, if someone does have the experience on, a particular chart, you can actually take away from that experience. You don't have to learn lessons that they learned already.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of the reasons why we always advocate talking about our mistakes.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate all of you guys in the seed, by the way, recently especially, how you guys talk about your mistakes, talk about your being, you guys, Kisha, you notice how everyone is so proud and happy and open about being wrong about a trade, getting invalidated on a trade. Like, props to you, Vishal. Woke up this morning, he's like, I got invalidated, but I'm exiting in profit. And hey, that's one of the techniques that we teach, right? Being wrong about a trade, accept it and just get out. Your job is not to be right. Your job is to increase your account size. So Vishal got to be wrong and still increase his account size, right? At the end, that's all that matters, guys. At the end of the day, most traders are egotistic, and that's why most traders fail at this game. You don't need to be right, man. You don't need to be right. You can make money while being wrong. So
Ego's always the criminal. It's always the culprit, irrespective of whether you're trading or doing something else.
Isn't there a book that goes "Ego is the way"?
Is there? I have no idea.
It's probably the way to self-discovery.
Sean gets up every morning, and the first thing he does is listen to his book. He's like listening to his books while brushing his teeth. I don't get it.
What am I supposed to do? Listen to music? What kind of bizarre world would that be? Alright, let's get to the comments now again. Justin says, love the streams. Nick says, right, and this is useful, makes me more interested in your paid course. Hey, Nick Rambone says, okay, no, I'm reading the same thing again. But essentially, the entire point of these live streams is to be able to give you guys in the daily videos who don't get a chance in the seed program to get a more in-depth look at how the psychology behind the charts work too, right? Because that's what I get to talk about over here. I do talk about that in the daily videos too, but I'm always doubting myself as to whether I should be putting that content out as much, because some of the times, and Krisha knows this, the daily videos are actually 55 minutes long, and I cut out so much that it comes down to around 35 minutes. So that's why the editing and the rendering takes so much longer than usual sometimes. Yeah, so again, I'm seeing the same comment twice over here. So weird.
YouTube is being weird today.
Yeah.
Really. not just you. What else?
Yeah, so I
The
see
levels-
Justin and Nick say the same thing. So I say Nick Rambone says love the streams with the mango sign, but I'm seeing that from Justin. So something's up over here.
It's odd. The Ghost says the levels are marked out in the charts. The obvious one is 12k to 14k. Yeah, I have the same ones too. 12k to 14k. I have 17 to 14. I'm not looking at anything past 14, not yet at least. Not until we start taking. I mean, guys, Bitcoin is still pretty much like at 19k right now.
Kusha, we already tested 16k, 17k. So
what do you mean? So yeah, 17k. So I'm still looking. I mean, that's still a level as long as we're living over it, right? It's a range. Like that's the thing. I'm playing the range, and as long as we're on the upper bound of the range, then those are going to be the immediate levels that I'm gunning for now. But yeah, 12k is also like I see what you have drawn out on your chart right now.
yeah.
What would be the percent? So we know that in that last cycle, right? In that last bull cycle, we saw every drop, you know, roughly it's about like a 25 to 30% drops.
Yep.
Every time it did have those nice deep pullbacks. So from where price is at right now to that 14k and 12k region, how much would that be? That would be fun to look at.
That's only 27%.
It's over 27%. I mean, yeah, compared to like the 30%, 40% pullbacks.
So yeah, sorry, to around 12k, it is around 35% to 40%. But my point is that that's surprising in Bitcoin? It's not, right? So get ready for that. I've been talking about a 30% pullback for a very long time. We've not got that yet. It could come at 50,000 too, by the way. So we don't know when it's gonna come. But also keep in mind, guys, that I'm talking about I'm talking about the weekly and the 4-day over here. So it's in my best interest to just sit back and wait for a move to play out. So I'm kind of biased on that, whether it be towards the upside or towards the downside. And this is the kind of position you want to put yourself in at all times, whether it be in terms of positioning yourself or in terms of having that mindset and that, hey, you know what? I don't care what's going to happen on the lower end of things, like in terms of a small move. I'll wait for a big convincing move, and then I'm willing to buy towards the upside or towards the downside. It doesn't matter. If I get a big convincing move to the downside, I'm ready to buy. If I get a big convincing move towards the upside, I'm ready to buy. And that's the most stress-free way, and you need to just have the mindset to be allowing for that to happen, right? So if you get yourself in a bad situation where you're over-leveraged near resistance, now suddenly you're not allowing yourself for a deeper pullback. And the reason you get yourself into a position like that is because you missed position early, and now you're chasing a position and you're FOMOing because you don't want the trade to go up without you. So now it comes to the other end of the equation. You need to be allowing for the price to go up without you as well. So this is where the mindset comes in as imperative going into your trading journey.
It's tricky. What do you think you know, is there anything that helped you tackle this when you first started trading? Because this, I feel like, is something that, you know, a lot of traders, a lot of new traders would go through. Just having these emotions, especially when price is moving up and price is moving up without you.
Yeah, so essentially the notion of path to least resistance, right? You always want to have the least resistance on your journey. That's essentially how you get a stress-free journey, the least resistance towards your goal. So if I'm thinking, okay, what's the easiest way for me to be happy? Does it really matter that price moves a little bit higher and then I buy above 20,000 and then I get a clear-cut way all the way to 50,000? That way I'm not having any resistance at all, no clear resistance at the very least at all on my way towards the upside. Okay, or do I want to buy over here and have resistance first and then get my upside? No, I'm willing to just wait a little bit and pay a little bit extra to get the next 30% on the move, right? Or next 50% or next 100%. So just understanding that, hey, I just want to put myself on a journey where I'm not slamming into a wall. Like I always picture myself sitting on a bus or hopping onto a bus while waiting on the highway. Okay, so now when the bus is passing by me, I'm judging or analyzing, hey, is this bus headed into a wall? If it's not headed into the wall, then great, I'll hop on. If it is headed into a wall, then I'll just wait for the next bus. So at the moment, right? If I'm looking at Bitcoin and I'm looking to get onto this bus, I'm thinking, you know what, this bus is headed onto a wall. So I'll just wait for the next bus, and the next bus might be over here, or it might be over here. So that's how I picture it in my head. I know it's silly, but those of you who are on the C program are very familiar with my silly analogies. So yeah, this is how I just avoid buying into resistance.
So does it help to plan, like you know, to first make a mental note, and then say that, okay, I'm only going to be looking at the 4-day time frame. We break this on the 4-day. I'll be getting in then.
Yes.
You know, do you usually draw out a plan for yourself?
Yeah, hands down, always, every single time. Like, even if there's even 5 minutes left on the 4-day candle, I will likely not get into position unless I pre-planned, telling myself, okay, you know what, 12 hours before the 4-day candle closes, you may get a startup position if so and so conditions are met. Right, so everything is pre-planned. I do not, okay, Krisha, you know, when we were starting on our trading journey, we had these set of rules printed out and plastered on top of our monitors, right? And these rules were like all these do nots. And one of the top rules that was bolded, guys, listen to this one. One of the top rules that was bolded was, if the trade was not planned, do not enter it. Okay, and that got brainwashed into me. Okay, that was like my Bible, my Quran, whatever, right? It was just in my head because I read it so many times. And now I don't need to think about these things.
Yeah. That list definitely helped. I think it's still somewhere lurking somewhere in the house in some corner.
Yeah, it was like laminated, like bolded. It was like so well done because it was in my face, and I wanted to, you know, like really put that into my brain. So
that was really important. I found, especially starting off, because when you see a trade, right, you get, I don't know about you, but I get very, very excited. I'm like, no, this is a great trade. And then for some reason, like, I don't know, it's just my luck, where when I go to put on a trade, I can see price start moving. It goes tick, 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 and it's just ticking up.
Yep.
And that riles up my emotions. And I just feel like, what, are they listening to me? Do they hear me? Right?
Yeah.
And when I find that used to happen, I used to tend to mess up. And just to avoid sort of falling victim to my emotions when the trade is there and I want to take a trade, that's where that list really came to play. That's where that list helped. Because yeah, oftentimes I would get up one morning, I'd find a great chart, I'd find, you know, a potential trade setup, but there was no planning. It's one thing to find a trade setup and it's another thing to plan for the trade.
Yep, exactly. So just print out a list of rules for yourselves, guys, and it will help a lot.
It'll keep morphing. Those rules will keep changing as you change as a trader, as you grow as a trader. That you'll notice that you'll find that rule set will change. Yep. It'll start evolving. So,
Krisha, you touched on something over there where you felt like they could read your mind, you know, and like the literal opposite of what you want happening will happen, almost kind of urging you to get into those formal positions.
Yes.
Guys, I want you to pay attention to that, because I'm sure all of you have been through that or are going through that emotion where when you want something to happen on the charts, especially the lower time frames, and the exact opposite is happening, and it's killing you, and you just can't take it anymore, and you act against your rules. The reason that's happening, by the way, is because all of these algos, all of these bots are literally designed to play with your emotions. Okay, they are on balance looking at how humans in general, okay, most of humans will behave, and they will take advantage of your behavior. Because yes, not all of you in the audience will behave that way, but enough of you will behave that way that the bots will profit from it. So know that's why the lower time frames are so insidious. It's because they're designed to take advantage of your emotions, and it's easier to do so. They get more opportunity to do so because each candle is a reflection of behavior, right? It allows you to play the red, the green, the wick, the in, the outs. It allows the bots to actually manipulate your emotions. That's why I keep telling Vishal, do not look at the lower time frames. That's why this guy who asks, what's his name, Harry Z, says, can you look at the 15 minutes? I'm not looking at the 50 minutes, guys, because it's not the mango way. It's stressful, especially in crypto. In crypto, you shouldn't be looking at anything underneath the 4 hour, in my opinion. 15 minutes is ridiculous.
Yeah. That's really, really stressful. And especially in like 24-hour markets.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So Harry
like
Z asks, do you day trade, and can you run us through your process with your live analysis? I run everyone through my process every single day in my daily videos, but I do not quote and unquote day trade. I trade. I trade. I don't day trade. I take easy trading opportunities, whether they end up on the lower time frames or the high time frames is irrelevant. In a really, really strong uptrend, every now and then they will end up on the lower time frames, like the 4 hour and the 1 hour, but very rarely, right? So during this period here, I was playing the lower time frames. I was building positions on the lower time frames because we played the high time frames over here. And then as we started going higher and higher, the lower the time frames started mattering.
Yeah.
The lower time frames started mattering is what I meant to say. And yeah, so similarly, over here we played the 4-day, and I'm looking for the same mindset going into this summer. So this was last summer, right? If you guys do remember. Sorry, not summer, Christmas. So this Christmas now, I am looking for the same mindset, looking at only the 4-day and the weekly.
I think that's a good point there. As soon as that trend really gets established, right, and you see this massive sort of bullish momentum pick up, I think you're right in that's when the lower time frames really start to matter. Like the push up from 3K to 14K. Now, I mean, we were playing that really, really aggressively, if you remember, Sean.
Yep.
And I remember finding like these signatures, okay, that was playing out on Bitcoin's chart in that range. And that was, as soon as it did start its uptrend, okay, that beautiful uptrend, it never lost the 4-hour 21 EMA. It just trended on the 4-hour 21 EMA, and that was the signature.
Yeah.
And as soon as it went into consolidation, right, I noticed that it was basically consolidating along like the daily 21 EMA, and then it rips up again.
Yep.
And then the one time, now remember back at 14K, I told you, I said, Sean, I think the signature changed.
Yeah.
So I only knew that could have been a potential top because that signature changed, because I saw something different happen on the chart.
I see.
Right? At that point, we were not consistent on the 4-hour 21 EMA, and that was the change that I registered. Yep. I'm like, okay, something is off here. Something different is happening. I say that we take a step back and try and figure it out before, getting too aggressive again. And that's what tipped me off on 14K.
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah, that was really, really, really well done. By the way, Ollie is taking his leave, Kusha. We should say our goodbyes to him. Not saying it like we never see him again.
Good night, Ollie.
Yeah. See you tomorrow. But hey, Robert is here. How's it going, Robert? By the way, what's his name again? Henry, I believe, or Harry said you should talk to Robert about day trading. He does day trade pretty aggressively at that too, but I'm not sure he does it anymore.
Rob is good.
Yeah.
Robert's
a star seed member. So Vishal asked a good question.
Okay, there we go.
Why are the lower time frames more compelling than higher time frames to newer traders? Because one, they get their instant gratification a lot sooner. They get their wins also a lot sooner, right? You get to see price move up and up and up almost instantly, even though on the high time frames it's not moving as aggressively. So it's more so about that instant gratification, and patience is something that society doesn't really teach us at all. If you think about it, ever since like when we now have competitions where people are winning even if they lose, right? Like you send your kids to a soccer game and everyone's winning a prize. Like there's what's it called? There's a word, right, for the prize for winning when you even lose. So,
consolation.
Yeah, consolation prize. Yeah, I'm losing my words. But that's one of the reasons why people want to play the lower time frames, because they just want that instant gratification and they're not willing to wait for the wins. But the wins do come on the higher time frames. So, And another reason is because of media, because they're watching people on YouTube, they're watching people on TV, and they're watching the charts move rapidly and fast. So they think that that's the way you should be trading. But if you look at the traders who trade consistently for long periods of time, very few of them, very few. Okay, I'm not saying it can't be done. Okay, I'm not saying that at all. In fact, definitely can be done, and it takes a lot of skill. But very few of them do it on the lower time frames, and even fewer do it on the lower time frames in crypto. So if you're playing forex, yeah, by all means, you can even play the freaking 15-minute, 5-minute chart, and thumbs up over there. But doing so in crypto, no, man, you can't. I don't think so.
Robert James, 10K this week day trading. That's insane, man. This is why Rob is the Star Seed member.
Yeah.
Making bank. Crazy. Good
Josh
job, man.
Hinton actually had a really good answer to Vishal. It's a better answer than mine, to be honest. But it does touch on the same element, right? I think it's because, Josh says, I think it's because it requires less patience. When you're new, you're lacking confidence, and so you think you can get in and get out quickly unscathed, and that's the key part that he touched on that I failed to touch on. So good on you, Josh. So it's that element too, right? And I definitely felt that when I was new. I remember thinking, oh, I can get in and I'll know I'm wrong really quickly and I'll just get out. It's fine. Right? I'll be able to take my profits really quickly too, or just in and out trade. Kushal, you remember those, right? In and out trades. Yeah. And in and out trades do work. Again, all of this works, but you need to be extremely experienced to be able to pull it off consistently.
I feel like the way this entire sort of the default world is set up, okay, at least with now I started trading primarily in crypto. That was my gate, my entry point, right? Trading crypto. And I noticed that the default versions of every chart, it kind of sets in these really, really bad habits, because honestly, if you just get onto any exchange for the first time and you pull up any chart, the default time frame, Sean, is 1 hour.
Yeah. That's
now imagine starting off, okay, you don't know anything about trading, nothing. You're literally here driven by price action. You're like, oh, Bitcoin, it was 5K yesterday, today it's 10K. And that's what was happening with Ethereum back then, right? So this was in the beginning of, actually midpoint of, the last bull cycle. That's when I personally started. And I remember getting onto these exchanges just being like a freaking lost puppy. And the default chart was a 1 hour chart. And you're seeing price pump, and it's there to drive these emotions in you, these emotions of FOMO. So it's about, it's one big like education sort of process, you got to go through to learn and understand that there's more time frames, there's more ways to really look at a chart. There are different kinds of traders, scalpers, range traders, trend traders, right?
And another reason these exchanges pan you on over to the lower time frames is to give you a false sense of the liquidity that is on the charts, because it's easier to show liquidity and show a very, very active market when you're showing the 1 hour time frame, right? Because it's moving. But if you have to look at the higher time frames, it doesn't look too pretty at all. So by the way, Tarvis339991 actually got the word I was really looking for. Participation trophy. That's what I was looking for. Yes, participation trophy. People get, just for participating now in the competition, you get a trophy. So I'm not a big believer on that one, but that's another reason why people want to, in my opinion, trade the lower time frames, because they would just want to participate in the markets without really participating, right? They see a trade to false completion or a delusionary version of completion because they're getting in and getting out on the lower time frames, when in my opinion, holding on to a trade, a true test of a trader who's not algo trading, right, is your ability to get paid by the market because you are able to stay convicted, right? Is that the word? Convicted through your trade. For you to be able to have the conviction to see your trade through and through. And I'm not talking only about seeing it through to profits. So let's say you are saying, hey, I'm not going to get out until the 4-day candle closes, right? To be able to sit through the dips, to know that, hey, I'm not invalidated yet, I will sit through this, okay? My stop loss or whatever, my deep risk managing stop loss is not hit yet. I can handle this move against me. I'm going to sit through my trade. And your ability to do that, or how about this, my ability to, the first time I did that, the first time I sat through that drawdown and then watched it all bounce back and then close about the level, was that hallelujah moment for me. I was like, oh my god, I did it. Okay, I did it. This is what set me apart from everyone else I knew at that time who got out of their positions because they couldn't handle the volatility. And I was like, hey, I did it. I stuck to my plan. And after that, it all started coming together. So you got to ask yourself, guys, why is the market paying you? Why is the market paying you? When I ask myself that question, the answer to me is that because I have the ability to hold on to my position while everybody else doesn't. And in a bull market, man, that's all you guys need to do. So don't lose position. Don't lose position and you will outperform most traders.
Boom. Lessons. Golden nuggets.
Another golden nugget by Robert right over here, by the way. I've been day trading for 3 years, though, and only making money this year. How many of you, okay, just keep that in mind, guys, okay? He's been day trading for 3 freaking years. Okay, how many days is that? That's almost 1,100 days. That means you have to be trading for every single one of those days, and for 2/3 of that time, he was failing. Okay? How many of you would be able to sit through that? He had that discipline, that fortitude, that conviction and belief in himself to see it through, to keep going and going and going and going and going. So before you guys think that this is just an easy way of making money and I'm going to day trade, understand what you're going to be putting yourself through, which is why, again, I keep saying journey before destination. If you're going to enjoy the journey, by all means, freaking do it. But do not do it for the money. Do not do it for the money, because the destination is not going to be as sweet if the journey is shit. And I think Robert goes on to say something like really stressful, or was that above? He talked. He mentioned it there right over here.
Stressful though, not lol, not advised.
There you go. Stressful though, lol, not. Yeah, there you go. So that's why it doesn't fit with what I'm trying to teach newer traders, right? Robert's experience. Robert is freaking phenomenal, and guys, I know he puts in the hard work. He mastered one of my indicators before I mastered it. I freaking coded it. I algoed it. And he mastered it before me. That's the kind of hard work this guy puts in. And you guys got to really, really ask yourself, if you want to be one of those 15-minute, 5-minute day traders, are you willing to put in the work that requires staying through with it?
Yeah. All of this is it's not a cakewalk at the end, right? There's all work involved. There's initiative that needs to be put in from your side as well.
Yep.
A lot of initiative. That was me. That was me in the last bear cycle. The last bear market, this was me like head in the books, just going at it, learning whatever I could from Sean.
So I'm going to go ahead now and do some analysis, because we've been talking without any analysis. I want to talk about something in particular, guys. And I talked about this already once, but it was on Krisha's chart, not on mine, while I was kind of dictating it to her in one of the streams. So let's go ahead and, not the stream, but the daily videos. But let's go ahead and pull up a fresh BLX.
Ooh, look at that symmetrical triangle you have there.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pull that up again in a bit, but essentially, guys, just keep that symmetrical triangle in mind. Now what I'm gonna be drawing is something different, because remember, we have, okay, you know what, I can just draw a symmetrical triangle in here too. I think it went something like this. Yeah, it went something like this, right? So now what I want us to do is take the symmetrical triangle and draw this instead. Okay? So now just think about this possibility as well, guys, as to this high not getting breached. And we talked about the scenario, this possible scenario, I believe in August. Okay, we didn't want this to be a scenario. I still don't want this to be a scenario, by the way, but we have to keep this in mind, because, hey, we don't know what the market's gonna give us. We still have this horizontal over here too, right? So I'll just go ahead and draw that. So now, what if we get something like this? Okay, this is too low.
That would be like a really, really extended sort of consolidation phase. That's what you're looking at?
I'm looking at this turning into a massive ascending triangle. Like this. Right? Some formation like that.
We could
Playing out over like months, right? This is something that nobody's really looking for. Like the one thing I know everybody's looking at right now is just a big up thrust towards 100,000 by 2022. But 2022 is all the way over here.
we could just see like trend continuation, because what happens now, take take something like a channel, right? And I'm sure you can draw a channel. If this actually puts in a high here, we would be able to draw in a channel or a rising wedge. And if you have to just kind of toss the pattern, the name of the pattern, and just look at the overall structure of price action, you'll see that it's making, well, higher highs and, well, higher lows.
Yeah.
But often in bull markets, there's that one thing about bearish patterns. There are a lot of times where you're going to see bearish patterns actually, well, break up. Okay,
Yeah.
because it's essentially it's signifying trend continuation. And we could see a similar thing happen here where it actually puts in some sort of channel like consolidation, but this actually sees continuation to the upside as opposed to breaking down.
So are you looking at something like this, Krisha?
Yeah.
Yeah, so again, this is an early read on a possible situation where essentially a ascending triangle breaks towards the upside and fails to see immediate continuation, breaks back into the triangle, into the ascending triangle. And we've talked about this concept on the lower time frames. And Krisha, wow, really good on you on bringing that and putting it onto this chart over here, because yes, that is a possibility. And this lines up with what the possibility of getting that weekly pullback to 11,900, right? Because that's exactly what this lines up with. So let's say we get that over the next month or so and then do something like this. Who knows?
Yeah, it's all we can speculate on this. We'll have to kind of watch out for how price really reacts getting into 2021, so the first quarter. That's really going to dictate, or likely sooner, because we all know that when Bitcoin wants to move, like, it does not wait for anyone. It doesn't even wait a day.
Yeah, exactly.
Forget about months, right? Someone asks, what do you think the next level for Bitcoin is going to be in the next 2 to 3 days?
I don't know. I'm really not looking at that.
I'm looking at the daily maximum. I'm seeing a symmetrical triangle maybe on those lower time frames. It'll really depend on where we break. But as long as we're living over the daily 21 EMA, I cannot find any reason to be bearish on this chart.
So, Yvonne, I'm guessing that's how you pronounce your name, right? Yvonne?
Yvonne, yes.
I think the key level that the bulls don't want losing is this level here, that 17,200 level that I've been talking about on the 4-day time frame, right? But now we have a daily level against it as well, sitting at around 17,000-ish. So right over here, this has been actually, no, it's the same level, 17,150. It's the same level, and this was key in the previous market too, in the previous bull market. I'm gonna go ahead and pull it up right over here for you guys. So it's really, really key, right? We talked about this wick over here. We pushed up to 20,000, okay? And at this point, at 20,000, you don't know if this is going to go to 50,000 or not. You have no idea. Even after this move over here, you don't know. The first big sign was this right here. When we attempted another push up, okay? When we attempted another push up, failed, put in this candle, and then broke the low here. When you took out the low, okay? You see this low? It got taken out by this candle. Suddenly, this candle became pivotal. This became the bearish candle of the market, the candle that dictated the bear market. And ever since then, it's been down, 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 right? Now, if you draw a horizontal right over there, you're going to see that that's exactly where Bitcoin is sitting at today. Look at that. Do you guys understand what I just did there? It's very, very simple. Very, very simple concepts. So we just go ahead, put a horizontal there, and you're seeing that Bitcoin has been resting on there on the daily as well as on the 4-day. I'm going to switch on over to the daily and right over there. So if we lose that level now, I think we're coming down. And hey, perhaps 14K to 13K.
Yeah. Man, that would be so sweet. That would be so, so sweet.
But what if we come down to 10K, Krisha? What about 5K?
That would still be sweet.
What about 3K?
Watch me buy.
Wow, this girl. Do not listen to her. Do not. You guys should not trade like her. Do not ever. if you ever come across Krisha on YouTube and or someone like her on YouTube that just says, yeah, just buy, it comes out, just buy, don't listen to people like that. Okay, she's talking about her financial situation and her conviction on the market, and you guys have no idea like what her financial situation is, right? She could be like freaking set for life and she can buy. Don't let that fool you into making those kind of decisions. Be very, very careful.
Also, there's one more thing, right? So when you listen to people, not just online, but even, in the outside world, especially when it comes to things like charts and stuff, the thing about trading is that each trader has their own time horizon, right? Each trader, each investor, there's always a time horizon. There's always an expectation, when you say that, I'm going to put X amount of dollars into this trade right here, but I'm sure like it's almost like an internal thing where you're thinking that, hey, but I'm expecting something I'm expecting a return in about, say, 3 months from now. Okay, in about 1 week from now. There's always going to be that expectation, that time horizon that you know of, okay? You're expecting something from it. And it's about understanding that that time horizon exists in your head.
Yeah.
And, make your decisions based on that time horizon.
Yeah.
So some people, we clearly are macro traders. We're looking at that beautiful macro timeframes. So our time horizon is very, it's much longer.
2026, guys. 2026.
Right? So we're not looking at a gain in the next 1 week or the next 2 weeks. Our time horizon spans years.
Yeah.
So it's about understanding that, each trader has a time horizon. So be very, very careful when taking calls, quote unquote.
Also, like, Bitcoin could go down really, really low, and we have a plan for every scenario, so be very careful. And we talked about our plans when Bitcoin had the big Corona candle and everything. We talked about how we managed our trades. Other traders don't talk about that, right? They don't talk about risk and being able to manage it on your financial portfolio. They just always give you the rosy picture. That's not what real life is like, and many of you who've been hurt by the markets know that. And we try to always protect our community by talking about those things as well. So we're never going to give you only the sunny side of things. So yeah, back on over to the comments now. Ajesh is in here, and Ajesh says, hi everyone, hope everyone is good. How are you doing, Ajesh? I hope you had a great week. By the way, everyone, Ajesh is the teacher, so please give him a round of applause. I think teachers in this day and age do not get enough credit. Ajay says, candlestick analysis module is amazing. Hey man, I'm glad you think so. From what I hear, it just gets better after that. Krisha, what do you think? What was your favorite module?
Oh God. I really like trend analysis, and the most recent one was the Ichimoku module, which I absolutely loved.
Oh yeah?
Like, you've done such a phenomenal job on the Ichimoku, the most recent one, and yeah, I just watched it, by the way, guys. I went through it, and I am so floored right now. I am so floored right now. And that was one reason as to why when I went through the entire thing, I'm like, man, this is, Sean is totally undercharging. So in light of that, we're looking to, there's a lot of good quality content in there. There's a lot of good quality lessons in there. And I've actually been through a lot of courses, especially in that last bear cycle. And this is by far, Sean outdid himself here.
Thank you,
Sean,
Krisha.
take a bow.
It means
take a bow, Sean.
Yeah, I honestly, I still blush when Krisha talks about me and my teaching skills, especially. After all these years, she can still make me blush, which is quite something. So Krisha, I've been teaching Krisha since she was in high school, so it's I don't know, there's something about teaching, and when students say good things about them being able to learn, or when they figure something out, right, there's a kind of gratification or satisfaction that I get, and very, very few other things can match up to it. But yeah, enough of that. Josh says, are you guys using fibs to help you determine levels? No, Josh, no. You actually do go on to say, Sean says he's not really into them. I do use them on the macro timeframes, and you saw how I use them in this market, right? To get that 10k position. we talked about, we looked at fibs very, very specifically during that zone, because I was like, okay, you know what, I believe that it looks like we are accumulating over here. Okay, there are multiple indications showing that, hey, we are accumulating over here. So then at that point, I pulled out the fibs on the weekly time frames, on the entire market cycle. I'm like, what is it looking like over here on the fibs? And the fibs also pointed to that. The fibs also were saying that, hey, this is the 618 zone, the golden pocket zone, in fact. And that's usually the area where you either accumulate or you break. So we are sitting on a key area where I was like, okay, this is really easy to manage my position now. I can start building a position here. If we lose the level, it's a key area on multiple accumulation indicators, and I'm just going to get rid of the position, right? Very, very easy to manage. And that's when I look at fibs. It's like one of the last things I look at. Not the last, but I don't think it's that important. Let's put it that way. I think Fibonacci traders who make it their bread and butter are losing money in the market. It's just, no offense, guys, but I think so. On balance, you will lose money in the market. I think the easiest way to trade is trend trading, but it's the psychologically most hardest way to trade. So let's go ahead back to the comments. Krisha, my audio is fine, right?
I can hear it.
Okay, cool. So I'm pretty new to trading. I like the way Sean explains things. He makes it so easy. So while everyone else is watching BTC, I'm taking notes. Hey, glad to hear that, Ajesh. And coming from a fellow teacher, hearing that he likes my teaching style, it means that much more. Thank you, Ajesh. Thank you. CryptoKitty says, guys, I know this sounds crazy, but I have a premium trading view, but can't figure out how to get the 4-day chart. Can you show me? That doesn't sound crazy at all. That's just a good question to ask, and I'm glad you asked the question, because there's so many people who are probably shy to ask questions. And hey, you're at the Mango community, ask whatever question you guys please. So yeah, just what do you do, CryptoKitty? On your chart, right? On your view, there are two ways to do it. On your view, on your trading view, just type 4. All you have to do is make sure that you click on your browser first in the center of the screen, like I am right now. You can hear my mouse. Click on 4. Hit the key 4. Don't click on 4. And then D for day. So if you want 4 minutes, you can hit M for months. How do you hit minutes actually? Oh, for 4 minutes you just go 4. That's it. For days you go D, and for months you go M. That's it. That's all you do, and then you hit enter. Right? So there you go. 4 day. So you can do the same thing for weeks, 1 and W weeks. The other way to do it is to hit this arrow key over here. I believe there's another way to do it right here. And then you scroll all the way to the bottom. And I think you can do it this way. You can go 4 and then switch it to D, days, hours, and you click add. And it'll show up over here. And then you can favorite it by hitting all these stars over here. You can see that I have the 10 hours over here too. You can look at the 10 hours. And yeah, this gives you a different view on things. So does that answer your question? Let me know. Hey guys, what should I be looking at as an entry point for ETH? I missed out on November 29th. Oh, speaking of ETH, people were asking me about Chainlink in the comments, in the live chats.
Speaking of ETH, people were asking about Chainlink. Jeez. We'll be going over ETH though. Cannot neglect Ethereum.
I've done ETH twice this week, guys, so go ahead and check out the video. But I have neglected Chainlink. So Chainlink is still sitting on our trend line for now, guys. This is all I'm looking at. This is all I'm looking at for Chainlink. If we break this, I'm going to be getting out of the Chainlink position. If we hold it, well, I'm staying in. I'm not looking at anything else.
I'm still holding the trend line. I'm just looking in front of Oli. We're right on it, like we're smack on it. So for this to really start moving up, so you're assessing it on the Link BTC chart, correct, Sean?
Yeah, I'm looking at Link BTC.
Okay. Yeah. Oof. We want to see some strength come in here.
Yeah, it's not looking like it though.
It's not looking too healthy right now. Not relative. So the thing is that I've been honestly just going on about this over and over again on my videos. The right trend is going to be established on the USD pairing, right? It's about really assessing whether Chainlink is in an uptrend relative to USD. Now, the thing is that when you're comparing Chainlink and Bitcoin, now they're both in an uptrend relative to USD. So it's about really understanding which one is the better trade. Which one are you better off holding? Are you better off holding Chainlink or are you better off holding Bitcoin? Right? And that's what this chart tells you. And right now, this chart is saying that, hey, maybe Chainlink may not be the better trade against Bitcoin.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all this is telling you. But and as far as the trend is concerned, I think, well, I personally, I'm looking at the trend relative to USD. That's where I, if I want to figure out whether we're in a bull cycle, I will look at everything relative to USD.
Yeah, that's fair. So I'm looking at the USD pairing right now, and the USD chart doesn't look too bad at all. It looks pretty healthy, to be honest. And when you guys are building a portfolio, so let's say you guys have something like this, right, where you have like a pie chart, and you're like, all right, cool, I'm going to be allocating 25% of my portfolio to Link. Okay, that's like, if you're building something like this, and then something somewhere else over here, your BTC. If you're doing something like this, then I don't think it's the best idea to be looking at the Link Bitcoin pairing, because at that point, think about what you're doing. What you're essentially doing is you're comparing one pie to the other pie, and you want them both to succeed, though, because you have them both, right? You can't expect both of your slices of your portfolio to perform at the same level, because then you're going to have a sideways chart, and that's very, very unlikely to happen in a bull market. There's always one going to be outperforming the other. You don't know which one it's going to be, and that's precisely why you have a portfolio like this, where you've divided it into chunks and you have a pie. So in this scenario, by the way, guys, you don't want to be worrying too much about the Link BTC pairing. So think about that as well. I hope that was clear, because this is really important to understand going into this bull market, and it's something that we don't talk about often, at least not over here.
Yeah. As long, honestly, with the way freaking the US dollar is dropping right now, I just feel like anything that's kind of in a trend against USD is great.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually, Kusha. Damn, I actually didn't think of it that way.
Save your USD. You're basically preserving
actually such
the
a
value
good point. Oh
of your money, of the money in your pocket.
Chainlink is such a good trade now. Suddenly, you're like, hey, this is going up.
But also, when Sean talks about the pie analogy, I think it also really comes down to correct me, Sean, if I'm wrong, but it really comes down to whether you're trading Chainlink or you're holding Chainlink. You're I don't want to use the word investing. I feel like people just use it out of context. I don't think anyone really invests in a lot of cryptocurrencies. They're looking to make a quick, profit.
Holding a position. Does you have a position? That's the easiest way to say it. I don't think anyone really yeah, you're right. You can't invest in anything in crypto other than Bitcoin, and that may sound very maximalist for me, but Bitcoin is the only finished product, right? That I know of.
So so really kind of assess that sort of attribute of your portfolio. Are you doing it? Are you in Chainlink as a trade, or is it like a hodl, right?
Yep. I wouldn't hodl any altcoins, to be honest, unless you're in a bull market, and identifying whether you're in a bull market can be tricky. Elena says, I haven't watched Ichimoku. It wasn't included when I joined Seed. I had to learn it from other sources. Can't wait to check it out. Hey,
you're gonna love it. You're gonna absolutely love it, Elena. I just went through it and I am so blown away. I actually, even in spite of knowing so much about the Ichimoku, I still had a lot to learn from that module. So you're gonna enjoy it.
Yeah, Krisha is like Ichimoku queen.
I'm pattern queen.
Yeah, but but a lot of information out there on the Ichimoku is misguided or really superficial. So I'm hoping that you found the right sources, Irina. There are good sources. I'm sure there are. I don't know.
Now she's got the best source. That's all that matters.
Yeah, I think you're hyping it up too much. Let her go through it, and because it's kind of like when you set the bar really high for a movie, and then you go watch the movie and it falls flat on its face because people hyped it up too much. That's what you're doing now, Krisha.
No, I really enjoyed it. I guess it's because I just finished it, right? So it's still fresh for me.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
So guys, this is what I'm looking at on Bitcoin. If we take out the next week's low, or rather this week's low next week at around 18,000-ish. Wait, what is it? Yeah, 18,000-ish. I think we're coming back down to around 16,000. This is the level Krisha talked about. But in my opinion, if we start making those kind of moves towards the downside over here, we're going to be establishing a daily downtrend, probably a downtrend on the 2-day time frame as well after we put in a lower high. We haven't done that just yet. The 2-day is still in a very, very strong uptrend. There's no doubt about that. And now the question is, does it have more juice in it? We can be doing something like this, and over here we may be putting in another high or another lower high, then lower low perhaps, and that's when we crack this level around 17k as well. I've seen this happen on big moves, on big run-ups, and then the 2-day is actually where the consolidation and the downturn starts beginning. So this may play out over the next few weeks. Now with that, on that note, actually, with this playing out over the next few weeks, this takes us very, very, very well into our monthly analysis, which is how I want to wrap up this video today. If you'd gone over to the monthly on Coinbase or whatever chart you guys want to look at, turn on your Mango ribbon. I want you guys to look at where the Tenkin is sitting in at, and the Tenkin, by the way, is lining up at my zone really, really well at around $12,000. So would a test for the monthly Tenkin be out of question, Krisha? What is that unforeseeable? What are your thoughts on that quickly as I switch up to BLX?
Okay. So monthly, you said monthly Tenkin?
Yeah, monthly Tenkin on Bitcoin.
Well, from earlier in the video when you were assessing just price action, right? Yeah. No, it doesn't. It looks plausible.
It looks very plausible,
if you're just looking at structure and just, not looking at the price. If you're just looking at the candles, it's a plausible level. And the craziest part about that level, guys, is the fact that even if we do come down there, the overall bullish structure is intact.
Yep.
It is intact.
Yep. And I want to show everyone something really, really quickly to end off the stream, especially as a gift to all of you who stayed with us this entire 1 hour, listened to me ramble this entire time about complete nonsense, tolerating me. I'm going to take you back to the previous bull market cycle, or rather the beginning of the previous bull market cycle, 2016. I believe it was somewhere around June, July, was it? August, actually, 2016 August, right after the upthrust in June and July, closing over the key June as well, 2 monthly candles over the key June. What did we do right after? We had a nice wick onto the monthly Tenkin and then continue on to the bull run, right? So we could have a scenario like that, or we could have a scenario like this too. This scenario right here, this candle over here is where I'm actually, I think we are more here. We are more here than we are over here, in my opinion. And over here we didn't test the Tenkin, but we did have a move to test the low of the previous month, coming in at 738. And look at how this month closed. Understand that we went all the way during this month, guys. During this month, we tested the high of the previous bull market, came down, tested the low of the previous month, and then continued on. What if we do something like that this time around? Okay. What would that look like? Well, that would look like us actually testing the high of the previous month, of the previous bull cycle, which is 20,000, which is something we've already done, and then coming down to test the low of the previous month, which is coming in at 13,900. So, does that line up? Does that make sense? We don't play fractals over here, of course, at Mango, but I just want to show you guys how things like this can happen and keep the entire market intact, kind of like what Krisha just mentioned. The bull market will still be intact after moves like that. At the entry point, we do not give entry signals like that over here, man. I have done a full deep analysis on Ethereum, and we talked about key levels. I can go ahead and talk to you about key levels really quickly to wrap up the video. In fact, I have it already here. So we have resistance overhead between 623, which we already smacked up now against twice, to around 666. We haven't hit 666 yet. Level underneath is around 441, but we did have a level overhead that we already hit. We had a level right over here, which is where we got our entry in at 489. By the way, I will be managing my positions going into Monday morning's opening because I'll be leaving on vacation. How I'll be managing my position, I haven't decided just yet, but I'll likely be drastically reducing my position sizes on all my positions going into my vacation. Yeah, for the next for the entire month, actually, Vishal, I'm gonna miss you too, but I'm gonna be on Discord, so join the Discord, by the way, guys, everyone.
Yeah, we're gonna be on Discord.
Yeah.
We'll be there. Send some pics
Yeah.
to all the seedlings. Woohoo!
Oh, did I tell you guys about the story last year? This was one of the most magical moments I've ever witnessed with Krisha. Jesus Christ. We were on the beach towards the end of Christmas, New Year's, and it was a bit quieter that evening. It was a bit overcast too. Krisha starts singing while the waves were hitting us, and we're having some fun. She just starts singing, right? And people were enjoying too. She's singing out loud. And I shit you guys not, 15 dolphins came and surrounded us because of her singing. It was crazy. Dolphins. She freaking lured in the dolphins with her voice. It was, oh my god. Just crazy.
But I got totally psyched out.
Yeah, she got so scared though. But everyone else was like enjoying the fun, so. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. Are you gonna sing again?
Yeah, it was Shania Twain. It was very specific. It had to be Shania Twain, or they were just not having it.
Alright, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Yeah, dolphins,
we're gonna miss
man.
everyone too, but we're gonna be on Discord. So if you're not already in Discord, make sure to join the party.
Yeah, make sure you join, guys. The link should be down. Link is underneath the video, right, Krisha? If not, join the Telegram and then come through the Discord. There's a link in the Telegram to get to Discord.
God. No, I've added a link to, Discord channel, but if it's not there, I'm just going to go ahead and just make sure that it is there. But, yeah.
Yep. Yes, Alina, this is the weekly chart on Ethereum. So, Ethereum, by the way, is in a monthly uptrend. Again, same story. The retest over here, the major retest, by the way, to answer your question, Laurent is 489 to 431, man. I'm liking that level. By the way, the stream is likely not going to be available after this video, so I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yes, sir. We will see every one of you on, Discord. Be there or be square.
I'm going to go ahead and turn up the music. And, yeah, turn down the mic. Krisha, you want to say any farewells?
Well, that's a status quo. Trade safely, trade stress-free, trade the mango way, trade the easy way, and enjoy your weekend, guys.
Yeah, I'll try and do a stream, guys, perhaps tomorrow morning. So, for those of you who are in North America, it'll be a little bit later in the night for you guys, early in the morning for the rest of everyone else. So, stay tuned, and perhaps around, I believe, 12 hours from now, we could do another stream. If enough of you show up to the Discord and ask for a stream, perhaps I do one early in the morning.
There we go.
There you go. There you go.
Show up.
Alright, guys. Until then, do the mango way, do the stress-free way. Make sure you throw a like and hit the subscribe if you haven't yet. Ciao.
See you soon. Ciao, guys.